Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I just wanted to make this video just in case you forgot the instructions or you just need to hear them again. So today and tomorrow, instead of doing a test from fractions, we are going to be doing this project. I know I said we were doing a brownie project, but it's not about brownies, so I apologize for that, but it's the same type of work. So basically what you're going to be doing is Cecilia is testing new recipes at her school, and she needs to adjust her recipes to be healthier without losing any favor, and you're going to help her do that. So the first thing that you're going to do is, my in-person kids, you're going to get a paper copy of this. My at-home kids, I have put this in today's agenda, so you're able to print them out or use Cami to write on them. It's up to you. But you will not be able to put in your answers today. So either printing it out or using Cami is your option. So you are going to need to pick either macaroni and cheese, broccoli and cheddar soup, chicken noodle soup, or chicken spaghetti. It is completely up to you on which recipe you choose. You only have to choose one. You do not have to do all four. So for the sake of this video, we are going to be using macaroni and cheese. So you're going to go up to the top and you're going to write mac and cheese, just so you know which one that you are doing. You are also going to write down each of the ingredients, because who wants to flip back and forth between two pages? So you might as well just write down the ingredients, and then you don't have to look at that other page anymore. So I'm going to go over a few things with you, and then you're going to be let go to do the work. So, for example, you're going to write down the ingredients under original amounts. So we have 6.5 cups of macaroni. I'm going to just put an M so I know. We have 4 3/4 cups of cheese. We have 1/4 cup of butter and 2 3/4 cup of milk. I'm going to put MI for milk. Now you are going to change the original amounts into lower fat, lower carb, high protein, and smaller portions. So for example, for lower fat, it tells me that I'm going to 1/2 the butter and the cheese. So I'm going to go to the cheese, and the first thing that I need to do is I need to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. So I have 4 times 4 is 16, 16 plus 3 is 19, so I have 19 over 4. And when I 1/2 the butter, that means I'm going to either divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2, because that's the exact same thing. And I'm going to get my answer. I'm going to do the same thing with the butter. I have 1/4 times 1/2, and I'm going to get an answer. Then it says double the other ingredients. So in order to double the other ingredients, I'm going to multiply by 2. So for the pasta, I have 2 times 6 is 12, and then I have 13. So 13 over 2, multiply by 2, and I'm going to get my answer. And I'm going to do that the same thing with the milk. For the lower carb, I'm going to 2/3 any starches, so I'm going to multiply 2/3. And then I'm going to 1 1/2, so a mixed number times the other ingredients. For the high protein, I'm going to double the amount of protein, so multiply by 2. And I'm going to have any milk, cream, or soup. For the smaller portion, I have 3/4 the entire recipe. So I'm going to multiply each ingredient, each original ingredient, by 3/4. After you fill out this table, you are going to turn it to the back and answer the following questions. So for example, number 1, we're going to determine the total number of cups of ingredients in the low-fat recipe. So I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to look at my low-fat, what I got for my answers for my low-fat, and then I'm going to add them all together. Now, if you remember from last year, whenever we are adding or subtracting fractions, they have to have the same denominator. They have to have the same denominator. For example, if I'm trying to add 3/4 plus 1/2, those two fractions do not have the same common denominator. So I have to change them to where they do. So my common denominator between those two fractions is 4. So I keep 3/4, I keep my plus sign, and I have to change 1/2 to where my common denominator is 4. In this case, 1/2 is equal to 2/4, and then I can add 5/4. That's just an example. So on number 1, you're going to determine the total number of cups of ingredients in the low-fat recipe. So you're going to add all of the ingredients together, but you have to make sure that you have the same common denominator. Number 2, if an individual container holds 1.5 cups, then how many containers of the low-fat recipe can Cecilia make? So you are going to take your answer from number 1, and you are going to split it into individual containers that hold 1.5 cups. So you are going to be dividing. All right, number 3. Same thing as number 1. You're going to determine the total number of cups in the ingredients in the high protein recipe. So you're going to add them all together, but you have to make sure that you have the same common denominator. Number 4, it says Cecilia anticipates the high protein recipe being the most popular, so she would like to package it in a family size of 3 cups. How many packages will she have from the one recipe? So you're going to have to take your answer from number 3, and you're going to use that in the problem for number 4. And you're going to do the same thing for number 5 and number 6. You're going to determine the total number of cups of the ingredients in the original recipe. And then if the original recipe serves 6 people, then you're going to have to determine how many cups is in a serving size. Then 7, you're going to just reflect on your problem-solving process. As always, the main thing is on the division problems, you have to make sure that you are setting up the problem correctly. And when you are adding fractions, you have to make sure that you have the common denominator. And if you don't have a common denominator, you have to change the fractions to where you do have the same denominator. All right, guys, that's about it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, as I am always available. So please ask away. Remember, this is not due today, so that is okay if you do not finish. You have that opportunity tomorrow. All right, y'all have a fantastic day. I'll see y'all soon.